And once more, welcome back everybody to more Mechabellum. Playing against Mr. Style or P-Style TV? Probably P-Style TV, judging by the name. In any case, I am playing as Fire Badger Specialist. I think this is one of my favorite aggro specialists. If I can get a pack with like Steel Boars, Arclights and Fire Badger, I consider that a best case scenario. And I'm going for some crawlers. Well, makes the most sense with Steel Boars, let's be honest. I'm really unsure where to place these units. Also, you might still hear a bit of the sniffles in my voice. Let's just speed this one along. My opponent deploys his Stormcrawlers on the inside, and I hate how he deploys them asymmetrically. Ah! Hurts my eyes. It hurts them real bad. In the middle there's a bit of an Arclight standoff. Meanwhile on the outside it has taken way too long for my units to appear. And my chaff is already gone. So this is not exactly good. I do get all of the Arclights dead eventually by the looks of things. But I'm unable to get a tower. The rate of fire of the Stormcaller is just enough to kill all of my Steel Boars before they can grab a tower. Round 1 is a loss, but that's not a big surprise, honestly. Against Stormcallers, it does happen relatively frequently. We do have a Fire Badger here that can distract my opponent's chaff. My opponent deploys the Wasps on the side here, and I decide to chaff out and just build some later arriving chaff in the flanks. Well, not in the flanks, but in sort of flanking positions, and put some crawlers on this side. Now some of the wasps turn around. I don't exactly know by which method, because I would assume that this one wasp would have turned around as well, but who cares. It means that I have more wasps at the front and my opponent has won the wasp war by a whole 2 wasps on like half HP. Most of my wasps got destroyed, but at the same time I broke through. However, there still is some very chunky units that can absolutely destroy me. And unless, well, I have no more remaining air units, so scratch that thought. This one's gonna go to my opponent as well. So far it hasn't exactly been going great, but I also can't say that it's surprising against a Sabertooth specialist. I didn't even check for that. Also, I should stop doing that. My opponent, for reasons I'm very much so unaware of, has decided to put a 400 cost unit back here to counter Fire Badgers that are already handled. Like, I don't know what exactly he's expecting here to happen. Meanwhile, I'm sitting on 900 bucks in round 3 and thinking about what to really do here. Alright, we have a crawler. My opponent has decided to level this Arclight. I decide to put another crawler here in an effort to distract the Sabertooth. Of course, the spider's going to take care of these crawlers as well. That spider can take care of just about anything. And my opponent goes into Arclight range. Makes sense. Well, he needs some chaff clear for his sabers. And Arclights can definitely get the job done after their massive buff. And wouldn't you know it, I've decided to go into Arclight range too. So we are playing with a total of, what is this? A total of 6 Arclight levels against a total of, this is 1, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's even. Arclight levels are even. Of course, the spider has no issue cleaning this flank up. And once again, in the middle, the Arclights meet. However, my Arclight gets the first shot off. And that is actually very important, because that means it can actually win the fight. On this side, it looks like the Stormcrawlers might decide the outcome. Or maybe not. We will see. No, the Arclight actually gets the enemy dead. And this Arclight survives on a sliver of health, but not for long. Once again, my opponent cleans my army up. At the moment, he's just ahead. I blame the sabers. But then again, like, I was talking about how this is basically my favorite starting specialist when going for steel ball aggro, or in general aggro. So we have the enhancement module for my opponent. He's decided to level up one of the sabers, decent value. I decide to skip here. I don't have anything to level up. I could have probably put it on these steel balls, but it was just too expensive. Instead, I decide to buy another pack of steel balls and put range on him. If my opponent decides to throw a super big unit there and is very unlikely to deploy anything else, might as well get some steel balls and try to farm that thing for XP. That is my sort of train of thought here. My opponent has decided to drop an additional saber. He could technically stonk and put another level on this, put another free level on this saber tooth. Let's put the pronunciation where it actually works. Meanwhile, I have hit range on steel balls very early here. I want these steel balls to basically instantly connect. And this should be a good distraction, so that hopefully these steel balls can get in and get some actual value. So my opponent is still sitting on 150 bucks. Maybe just buy some extra chaff. Nope. Oh, he already got mass recruitment. Anyway, this is unpleasant because of course these units still need to spawn in, but once they do, they could get that job done. Now there's a lot of steel balls firing, but they are being thinned out rapidly. It's not rapidly enough, however. They got the spider, and you can see here they've already leveled. As far as this situation goes, it's not ideal, because my steel balls can't find the target. I do, however, get a tower and a second tower, and that means these arc lights might actually get some work done. But all in all, it's definitely, they are not capable of taking care of these saber tooths yet. Not even remotely. Still, I feel I kinda stopped the bleed a bit here. But I definitely need to stop the bleed. I'm down to about, what is this, a third of health? Another wasp swarm for my opponent. I think I actually don't take the wasps here, but I could be wrong. Improved Rave would definitely also be something that I could think about, but I already got Arclight, so what's the big deal? These steel balls can level, that, as I said before, that is very important. My opponent has decided to put a Scorpion here. But at the end of the day, I think these crawlers are going to distract just fine for these steel balls. So I've decided to deploy on this side. Basically, with the cover of my crawlers, he put an Arclight there, that is reasonable. Also, this Arclight can easily deal with these crawlers. And I decided to just put more chaff down. I relocated the wasp swarm, yeah, defensively. I think that is the correct choice. If it happens in the middle, I should be trading somewhat evenly. And on the sides, these wasps would first attack the crawlers and give the fangs extra time to deal with these things. 100 still in the bank? Yeah, mobile beacon. That, I think, is the correct choice. My opponent has deployed the first of many missiles. I get the feeling that he really likes missiles. Anyway, I decided to just go somewhat inwards. One of the balls I didn't grab. That was not on purpose. The steel balls are healthy enough to survive one scorpion shot, which means they get to live for a while. And meanwhile here the missile is eaten by a couple of crawlers that came in. Here it's not looking all that great. The steel ball did in the end lock onto the saber, but it's not enough. It looks like I'm gonna get another tower though. And with this many fangs in front, that actually survives a while. Meanwhile my opponent's wasps are being shredded. And that should mean that since there is no more anti-air, we're actually taking a win home. Yeah, not just that. It was so long of a delay that the Arclights actually won. And now I'm definitely sitting on a level advantage here. Laser sights also very potent. I am not very scared of the Iron Blast here, because when I'm looking at my army, like, where does he want to blast? Start here and try to cleave through the Arclight? Maybe that'll work. These steel balls once again farmed, and they are getting ever more scary. Absorption module on those seemed like more value to me than the laser sights on a carry arc even. He's defending with more Scorpions. At the moment I'd say Arclight Scorpion and some Saber support, but he has been selling out of the Sabers. Still no chaff in front, just to cover for this Tarantula, but I assume we are going to see that. I decided to put my extra Wasps on these units, and he's decided to do the same, basically. Another temp range. I did so in the last round already. I think temp range is sometimes very important if you want to get ahead with carry arcs. And now that I have elite, I should definitely be ahead with carry arcs. Steel balls, beacon to the other tower. Let's concentrate our firepower on this tower, where there's the big flank distraction going on. Since my units are closer, some of the wasps did target the ground units, and that means my wasps actually won the wasp war. Arclight cleans up the remaining fangs, and these steel balls are scary, because those steel balls are not dying easily. Once again, this carry Arclight doing great work, killing all of these units.